Welcome. This is going to be a Genspark Masterclass course where I'm going to go through all the major features of Genspark so that you have the most powerful AI agent tool in your skill set, which is basically like having an army of AI agents do your work. And this is going to be incredibly powerful, not only for personal productivity, but very focused on business productivity to help you get more leads, get more sales, take more market share, and grow and work smarter, not harder. This far surpasses what ChatGPT can do, and I'm excited to show you all of the features. Let's begin. Now, listed down below this course video is a comprehensive guide of the modules that I'm going to be covering with just the topics for the videos. But if you keep scrolling down, you'll go to a section called Genspark Workbook with Prompts. This is what I'll be referencing throughout this course. So let's begin with just a general overview of why Genspark is such a powerful tool to have in your arsenal. Genspark stands apart from traditional AI tools like ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini in 4 different ways. Number 1, it has a multi-agent architecture versus a single model. Unlike single model tools, Genspark uses a mixture of agent systems. A mixture of agent systems with 9 specialized large language models, and it will automatically select the best AI brain for each of your specific part of your task, and it will switch automatically between which tools and which large language models to help accomplish the project or task that you give it, and it will do it completely automatically. You just give it a task or job, and it will go forth, use the models, use the tools, and complete the task autonomously. Number 2, it has autonomous action versus just conversation like ChatGPT. While ChatGPT and Claude excel at generating text responses, Genspark can actually perform actions, building apps, making phone calls, downloading files, creating presentations, and deploying functional applications completely autonomously. Next, the real-world integration versus text only. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and other models like that, they just output text. They don't actually do work in the real world. Genspark connects to and uses multiple APIs, automates complex tasks across platforms, and can interact with the real world beyond just generating text. And lastly, it's an all-in-one platform versus a single function. ChatGPT, Claude, and other models, they just output text, they just search the web, they just do single functions. Genspark has a suite of large language models, tools, and APIs, and even MCP tools, which is like a Swiss Army knife of functionality that you get all in this one platform for just a subscription of, I think it's $25 right now per month. So rather than needing multiple tools, Genspark provides AI slides for creating presentations, AI sheets, a tool to create spreadsheets, AI chat, which functions just like ChatGPT, image generation, video generation, AI download, meaning you could give it a link to, say, a TikTok video, and it will download that video file and store it in its AI drive, much like Google Drive. And it does all of this in one platform without you having to leave the app and work with multiple tools. That's an overview of why Genspark is so unique. Now we're going to go over the different functions right here and why you'd want to choose one versus the other of the agent, slides, sheets, chat, and right here, which is a folder of all the agents. So you have the super agent, and the super agent is found right here on the left-hand side bar. It's its flagship autonomous AI system that handles complex multi-steps workflows. You give it a task, it's going to choose the tools, create a to-do list, and execute autonomously. It's perfect for complex business projects requiring research, planning, and execution. And the use cases such as market research, and I'm talking very comprehensive market research. It will read dozens of websites, videos, and synthesize it and collect all that information, then synthesize it into an executive summary like a Wikipedia article, giving you a full in-depth analysis or a deep dive Wikipedia article on a topic, for example. Competitor analysis, business strategy development, multi-step content creation. Very, very powerful, all in one simple chat. The next one is all agents, which is basically right here. In the all agents section right here, if I zoom out, now you have access to all the different features so you can pick a specific model for a specific task, for example. So let's go over each of these. So the AI agents, think of it like a folder. It's where you'll find individualized, specialized agents for specific tasks, such as creating presentation slides, doing comprehensive deep research, AI chat, which functions just like ChatGPT, creating images, creating video, or even translating text, for example. This space is perfect to find the right tool for a single purpose focused task and also to be more conservative on token usage, which I'll go much deeper in later on. It's for quick content generation, specific data analysis, deep dive research on a specific topic. So the difference is you're going to use the super agent for complex projects that require multiple steps, research, integration across many different tools, and you're going to use the all agent folder, which has the individualized AI agents for simple, focused tasks that don't require complex workflows, and also to save on token usage because the super agent will burn more tokens than using individualized agents. And again, the difference here on the left-hand side, AI agents, you have this one for the specific task. And then up here, you have the super agent where basically you give it a task and it's going to figure out what is the best tool or multiple tools to accomplish its task completely autonomously. The next feature of Genspark is the AI Sheets. It's an AI-powered spreadsheet tool that requires no formula expertise and automates your workflow. The advantages over Excel and Google Sheets, it has AI automation, which eliminates manual formula creation. It will actually go find information, fill it out, create formulas, do calculations, all in that spreadsheet tool for you, so you don't have to figure out what's the formula to do the calculation. It will do intelligent data analysis and insights. You upload a spreadsheet and you could perform financial modeling. You can upload financial data from your business to determine patterns or identify trends or look at sales over time. Very powerful. It has automated workflows and templates for budgets, SEO, analytics, and for invoices. And it's best used for lead generation, financial modeling, data analysis, KPI tracking, and automated reporting. This is an example of AI Sheets filled out. I gave it the task here to say, hey, go find me 5 businesses to sell AI training and education in Los Angeles. And I want you to give me their website, their phone number, their contacts, and their personalized email. And so what it's going to do, notice that from that prompt, it's going to figure out, oh, I'm going to use the tool feature. What is the name of the tool? It's going to create a sheet. So it creates the spreadsheet on the right-hand side. Then it's going to use the tool, which uses the spreadsheet tool. Then it's going to set the header titles, which you can see here, the name, the website, the phone number, and then notice it adds the contact person, the email address, all the things that I requested. And then it's going to use another tool, which is pretty much searching the web. Whenever you see parallel search, it's going to search the web for multiple websites. It's going to scrape those websites. And if you click on view, you can actually see all the websites that it went and scraped information from to use from this. This is very powerful, much like Perplexity, but on a whole nother level. So it read all these websites, found the relevant information. Then you can see how it thinks, for example. It's like, okay, I'll help you find that. Let me start by creating the spreadsheet. So it did that task. So it's autonomously thinking out loud, and it's working through both the task and using the tools to accomplish it. Like it's going to use the tool, it's going to read this website, 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 scrape, look at all the information that is scraped, and says, I can see that I already created a table structure and gathered some information. So now let me start using more searching. Let me start reading some pages, read some pages, read some pages. Then based on my previous searching and crawling, meaning it's crawling the web to look for information, it actually found it. So then it's going to use a tool to actually update the spreadsheet right here. And then you can see here, it will actually fill out and update the spreadsheet. And then it's going through, doing the task, grabbing the tool, and then doing the function. And it just repeats that. This is it thinking out loud, working through the tools and actually accomplishing this task, found all the information in text, and then automatically filled out the spreadsheet. So by the time it's done, it's like, great, here's everything that you requested. And it created the spreadsheet table for me. And if I go to the view and export button right here, if I click on that, it will open a new tab where I can see it found me 5 businesses that I could sell my AI training to. So it basically did lead generation, found the businesses, their websites, their phone numbers, the contact person, and the email address. Now, I will say it's 70% accurate. So it's not going to be super perfect, but it's going to help you go from blank page to something to work with. I'm going to go back to this tab, and that is the spreadsheet function. The next one right here is slides. Let's go over the slides function right here. It's an AI presentation creator, creates PowerPoint presentations that transforms topics or documents into fully formed presentations with well-researched back content. It will automatically research. It will create professional designs, and it will do a PDF to presentation conversion. So you could save it as a PDF, or you can even save it as a PowerPoint. It's great for sales presentation, investor pitches, training material, client proposals, webinar topics, sales presentations, research. Here's an example of a presentation that it created. And for this example, I was using ChatGPT to basically pull information to do some researching on a webinar topic because I was using a custom GPT. So then I just copied all that information, copied my brand colors as well here, the hex codes for my brand colors. And I said, hey, can you create the slides from the notes below and use my brand colors and the notes? That's all I said. And I said, okay. So this is just copy paste research that I was using from another AI tool. It says, okay, I'll help you create a professional slide presentation using your brand colors. Let's start by creating the deck for the six-figure AI engine webinar. And for context, this was for a sales webinar. And so it's okay, first it's going to use a tool, and there's the presentation tool, and it's going to start working. And then you can see it's thinking out loud. It's like, okay, I'll start creating the slides, use the tool, presentation, and it's slowly working on this task. What it actually does is it's actually writing HTML code. Just like if you were to write a website, that's actually how it's accomplishing the graphic design. It's not actually doing a graphic design like Canva, for example. It's actually writing HTML code. You don't have to know HTML code in any way. It's not necessary, but I want you to understand how is it actually generating this, which is so powerful. It's literally writing HTML code just like you do a website, but it's going to structure it in a presentation format beautifully. And so here you could select to edit the text. So I could click on this, select right here. And then now on the left-hand side, I can edit this text and change it to awesome webinar. You could change the font, the size from here. So you could select different parts of the webinar to make your changes, and it will go in the code and knows exactly what to change for you. So you don't even have to know anything about the coding. Now, to take this webinar, I could click on the view and export right here, and it will open a new tab, show me my awesome presentation, matches my brand colors, even does a little animation, which is really cool. Very beautiful. Look at this beautiful presentation that was created. Look at that. Even does HTML animations. I didn't even tell it to do it. Very, very powerful. For context, in the community, we have the custom GPT course, and I built a perfect webinar GPT, and you have all the code to actually copy this and create a perfect webinar GPT. So if you want to do webinars for sales presentations, basically if you're selling low, mid, or high ticket products, for example, and you're sending traffic to a webinar, basically, this will create a perfect webinar based on Russell Brunson's webinar framework. So you can use all of this, and it even provides the code right here, the custom instructions to build this GPT. So that's what I was using to generate the script for my perfect webinar. And then I just took that, and if I go back to this presentation, that's really what I pasted all of here. All of this text for the webinar was not generated in Genspark. It was actually created in a custom GPT that you have access to actually create and clone this for you and for your business. So then I took that information and put it right in here. So this is a perfect sales webinar. Pretty actually dope, which is nice. There are some errors here of things that you can request to fix, but it did all of this super fast and easy, and also added animations. You could click on the play slides right here, and it'll go into a presentation mode, and I'll use my right arrow to basically go into a presentation mode. Beautiful. This would take hours to create. I am not that good at presentations, but the maze that did this beautifully, perfectly with the animations, this is a whole nother level. Very powerful. I'm gonna hit escape to go out, and then you could click right here and you could publish your slides on the web. So if I click copy slide link, it's copied. If I open incognito mode and paste, you now get a public website that you don't have to be logged in. Now, these things do live for, I think, maybe 30 days. So just be aware of that. They're not always up forever when you publish them to the web. And then lastly is the export button here. I could click export and I could save it as a PDF or a PowerPoint, which I'll do it as a PDF version of it. I highly recommend, as a best practice, whenever it gives you something useful, immediately take the text, the presentation, the spreadsheets, take it out of Genspark. They're tools just to create, not to save. And then from there, save it in Notion. So for example, here it is, export successful. It does save it in my AI drive, which I'll show you there, but I'm just going to download it. Perfect. And if I go to Notion in my documents folder, I'm just going to create a new page here and call this AI presentation. And then in Notion, this is something unique to Notion and why I highly recommend it versus Microsoft Word is there's a plus symbol right here that will show you all the blocks of different information you could store. But I highly recommend use the practice of the backslash. See how I added a backslash? It's just a shortcut key. It brings up the same menu as the plus symbol. And if I type PDF, it says, hey, you want to embed a PDF? And I'm like, yes. And then it says, okay, you want to upload it? Choose the file. Then I'm gonna go to my download folder and there's the presentation. I'm gonna click open. And this is something just unique to Notion, which is you can embed PDF files right here, which is great so that I have the information saved in my documents where I can find it whenever I need it. And it's not in Genspark. Very important. If Genspark gives you anything of value, same with any large language model, it's best practice to take that information. It doesn't matter if you're using ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, you're using any of these AI tools to do work. Once they give you something useful, best practice, like hot potato, take it out from there, copy it, and give it to Notion to save it long term. Very important. Whenever you're using any large language model, save the information in your digital notebook, which I highly recommend Notion, which is so powerful, which is your second brain, basically to store all the information so you can find it when you need it, because it's going to be very difficult to go back to Genspark to find that one conversation. It's also saved in my AI drive. So if I click on the left-hand side, that AI drive is a place where it can store things that it downloads. It could be white papers, could be files, could be videos, could be PDFs that you just generated from presentations. So that's what this is saved here, but we'll go much deeper into this later on. So I'm gonna click on the X and that's the presentation. And now I'm gonna click on the back arrow. So that's everything on the slides to create PowerPoint slides. Let's go to the next part, which is AI chat. This here functions exactly just like talking with ChatGPT. It's just gonna output text, but it's also gonna be more conservative and save you tokens. So here, oh look, you have access to all the different models, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, DeepSeek, or you could do a mixture of them to actually give you a much better results. So I can ask it a question like create a detailed breakdown for AI training for entrepreneurs. I could choose the mixture of agents right here and then click submit. It's going to do its thinking and it's going to give that prompt to GPT, to Claude, to Gemini, so that you could actually compare multiple large language models at the same time. But do be aware, this is going to burn more tokens. Now that Genspark has completed, notice that it took that prompt and gave it to ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and then reflected on all of them. If you click the drop down arrow, this part right here, you can see an estimated token usage. I pre-prompted it to do this, which I'll show you later on in how to actually add this prompt right here so you can actually get a feel for how many tokens is using for each request. But here it answered the question from ChatGPT and then it took the same information and gave it to Claude and then gave us information and then repeated that for Gemini and then it reflected. It basically took the analysis of everything and said analysis of this one, then analysis of Claude. So it's actually comparing the models. And then finally, after it does all that research, it's going to synthesize all of that information into one comprehensive report. Genspark doesn't do anything half-ass. It is so comprehensive as far as the methodical thinking that it does. This is why it far surpasses what ChatGPT can do and makes it a very, very powerful tool and gives you such an insane competitive advantage. So that's the mixture of agents. You could, again, choose a model and have it do a thing. You can also have it search the web here. So if I check this box, search the web and say, what are the best AI tools for entrepreneurs? Much like Perplexity or ChatGPT has the search the web feature, it's going to go search the web, and then it's going to also use a mixture of agents because I did leave that mode on, and you could see it working behind the scenes. It's running each model in parallel. You have an army of AI agents at your disposal doing your work. This is productivity on a whole nother level, far surpasses people who just use ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude, for example. So now that's done, it read a bunch of websites, gave it each of the models, gave their output, then it reflected, and then gave you an executive summary. And notice here, the difference is that it does cite its sources where it got that information from. So if I click on this link right here, it's going to take me to that page where it got that information and it scraped the information from that website, which is wild. So this is very powerful, especially when you're looking for information. And again, we don't have to sign up for Perplexity. It does everything in one app. We're not leaving the app to do multiple tools. This is why Genspark is the most powerful AI agent tool. So I highly invest, learn all the features, practice with them, because you're going to be more dangerous with Genspark in your back pocket. You can attach files from here. So if I click this folder, I could attach a file. I'm going to upload this file right here, which is going to be the same presentation slide. Now, Genspark does not like PDF files. That's what this error message is. I know it's in Chinese, but it's basically like, yo, I don't like PDF files. And so whenever you give it a text, you want to make sure that it's a EX, it's a Word file. And this goes across ChatGPT or Claude or any of the models. They do not like PDFs unless you use Adobe Acrobat to use OCR to convert it into text. But most of them just can't read it. So that's why you need to convert it. This is a questionnaire. It's a docx file. So it's actually a Word document, basically. Large language models, and even especially Genspark, loves this. I'm just going to say what's in the file. I'm going to switch from multi-agents and just use an O4 mini, which is very powerful. We don't need to search the web. We just attach the file. O4 mini doesn't do files. So we're going to do, there we go. Now notice I did O4 mini, but O4 mini does not do files. So that's why the files didn't show there. So if I use an O3 model, it's like, oh, O3 model can actually handle file usage. So I'll click here. It's going to read the files and then answer the question. You could upload documents and do a chat with PDF functionality of it. You could upload a document that has 70 pages and then ask the questions, where basically it's going to say, okay, based on that file, here's what we found. Here's what it is. Very powerful right here. So that's where you can attach, but just know that certain models can read files and certain models cannot read files, like the O4 Mini High. So that's everything in the chat feature. Let's go to the All Agents folder, and we did slides, we did sheets, deep research. We're going to go through the super agent later on in this course. We went through the AI chat feature. Let's go through to the image studio. So let's click on this. And here we could generate an image or turn an image into a video. We're going to generate an image real quick. So now we're in the image generator. Do note that it's going to burn more tokens of it, but just like in the AI chat model, it's giving you access to all these image generators. There's Flex, Ideogram, Dolly, Flex Context Pro, which is the newest one. This one's actually really dope because it would actually keep character continuity. I'm going to use this. Now for the image generating, I'm going to select the model and I'm going to just write out a very basic prompt basically right here. But this is okay. I want to make it better. So you can go to feeddo.com and feeddo.com/ChatGPT prompt generator. This one actually will improve regular. If you have it a regular prompt, it will improve your regular prompt. If you're doing Midjourney, which is for image generation, Midjourney does images. I could paste that in here and it's going to actually generate a much better prompt. For example, right here, you also have the stable diffusion, which is also an image prompt. And so here I could put in that prompt right there. You could choose different types. I'm going to choose a photograph and then click generate. It's going to take my prompt and make it 10 times better. A realistic image of a female entrepreneur, spokesmodel, this age, professional photography, 50mm lens, soft bokeh background, engaging, nice. So I'm actually going to take this right here. This is all I need right here. And then I'm going to put that into Genspark, paste it. So now, because the quality of the image will always be determined based on the quality of the prompt. If there's a certain art style here, such as realistic, cartoon, oil painting, anime, watercolor, I'm going to choose realistic. And then the size, I want this in a 9:16 because I want to actually create this as a video. So we're going to take that and then go ahead and click submit. And then we're going to submit it and it's going to actually generate an image for us using this model, Flex Context Pro. You can also select the other one, which is like all the models, and it'll generate a bunch of them. Perfect. Nice. I actually want the full body sitting in a chair talking to the camera. I'm just going to make that quick little change. I'm actually very happy with that. That looks really good. Because technically, I want to use this for, you can use this for HeyGen to run this into a script. This is actually, oh, this is wild. Okay. This is actually kind of cool. So now that I have an image, you could remix it. I'm going to take this image. I'm going to click on it. You can see the whole prompt. We're going to download the video. Next is, if you go to the me right here, this is all the history of all the conversations that you've ever had with Genspark. So this is where you can see it. And then here you can see, you can actually bookmark certain conversations and I'll show you how to actually bookmark them. And then Spark pages, I'll explain what a Spark page is shortly. The next thing I want to go over is just a quick layout of it here. So if you click on the gear icon, you can actually see the credits that you're using. The credits do not roll over every month. So when it comes time to the very end of the month, you want to just burn all your credits as much as possible. Generate books, generate images, generate video, go ham, because they do not roll over every single month. And honestly, after speaking with heavy users of Genspark in the community, you're not going to burn through the credits. It's going to be very rare. Unless you're using credit intensive stuff like the spreadsheet, like doing lead gen for the spreadsheet, that will burn a lot. Image generation kind of too, especially video as well too, but you'll be fine. Don't worry about that. Next is the AI drive, what I want to show you here. So with the AI drive, I could go to any YouTube video or even Instagram video. Here's the Instagram video.
We've experimented with about a
really good. So here's a really good Instagram video. I'm going to copy the URL, go to the drive, and then I'm going to go to the feature that says download for me. I'm going to paste that URL, click confirm. You could do this with YouTube videos, TikTok videos, and Instagram videos. Perfect. Now also notice here, it's unable to get the audio. So sometimes when it downloads, at least for Instagram, some videos, it will get the video, but it won't get the audio. Just a caveat with that. But if you do download and click save to drive, the only difference here, notice, is the resolution, 1080, 720, 720. So this will get the video, but I also want the audio. So it's not perfect. You can also go to TikTok, for example. I'm just going to pick any one of my videos. Here's one of my videos. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go to the drive here. I'm going to say download for me. Paste that TikTok video. Click confirm. Notice here it does get the audio. Nice. And the video resolution, higher resolution 1080, lower resolution 1020. So I'm going to click on that one, save the AI drive. And now it's going to go and download that video for me. Great. And now that it downloaded the video, if I click on it and click play. Are you confused by all the AI hype? I was too, until I found a way to turn it into leads. Perfect. So it actually downloaded the video. That's nice. Little caveat between Instagram and TikTok. And then here to save it, once you select it right here, you could click on the download button right there and it'll download it straight to your computer. And I go to my download folder. There it is right there. So if I double click on it, there's the video. Are you confused by all the AI hype? I was too, until I found a way to turn it into lead. Nice. So it downloaded the video right there. So that's the download. You could do it for articles, for video. Very powerful from here. Just a caveat, just know that it does have storage limit in here. So 50 gigabytes, that's plenty of storage, honestly. If you upload a document from here, you could chat with it. So I'm going to add a file here. I'm just going to add just any PDF file. So any document that you upload from here too, you can also see here's a Word document. You could click Super Agent right here. And now it goes to the Super Agent mode on the left-hand side. And then here it adds the file and you could chat with it. This is going to burn a lot of tokens. I'd honestly rather just do the chat and upload it here. Basically, upload the file, choose a model like O3, and then just ask it a question and chat with it. I would rather do that, but it's there. So this is the drive folder. The next thing I want to show before we get into the heavy stuff is click on the gear icon. The only real thing here is personalization. Just noticing your credits and the personalization. So let's go there. Here you can actually have Genspark call you a nickname. You could give it more context around what you do. I'm an AI consultant, I'm a sales rep or something like that. So it actually could personalize its output messages. You could describe your profile basically here, like who you are, what you do, what's your business, what's your profession, what's your role, what's your specialty. You could also change how it behaves to you. Do you want it more chatty, more straight shooting, more forward thinking as well too? Here's that custom prompt, because I'm always kind of curious. For me starting to use Genspark, I want to know how many tokens it's using, for example. So here you could calculate this. I give it a custom instruction that, hey, calculate the estimated token usage and put that in the top before the task and show the token usage at the end of the task. This is when we get into the super agent side, so that I could kind of see like how it's actually burning tokens and actually how much per request. So this is just something, it's not mandatory, but it's just something I'm just using. But you could add all sorts of custom instructions too. Always translate for average Joe, or always be brief, or always output in this specific framework or template, for example. And then you could click save. The next is like AI agents. I just want to show you the video generation. So if you go down and we do video generation right here, we're going to generate a video. Now, you could use like very powerful tools like Kling, Minimax, Pixverse, Luma Labs, Google VO2, WAN 2.1, which is also very powerful. Runway. This is very powerful that you get, like, these subscriptions would cost you a lot of money to actually get access to them. So it's actually much cheaper to actually have your Genspark subscription to help you with these. Very powerful. And then, oh, look, they have Google VO3 with sound. That is wild. I'm just going to do Kling 2.1 just to start off. I'm going to choose Google VO3 actually just to do this. And I'm going to upload an image, which is the one of my avatar. There's my avatar. I'm going to do it in a 9:16 format. I want a 3 to 5 second clip. Very simple. And I just want to say her smiling at the camera and waving to the camera. Simple. And then I'm just going to click generate. So it's going to take that photo. Because I uploaded the image and I actually didn't choose VO3, I actually did mixture of agents. So it's actually going to do a mixture of all of them. That's going to burn a bunch of tokens. And then by auto prompt, it's going to take my prompt. Auto prompt, what it does is it actually improves your prompt and makes it so much better. Look at this prompt right here. So you don't even need like a feed dough, but if you do, this will actually be much more. So actually enhance your prompt. And then we're going to compare. It will generate it with Kling, VO2, Pixverse, Luma Labs, and great. So oh, this is wild. So this right here is VO2. Look at that. Oh, this is wild. And then here's Luma Labs. Nice. And then on the right hand side, there's Pixverse. Oh my gosh. You can't trust anything on the internet. Jesus, these are so wild. And all of this is in Genspark. That's the great thing about Genspark, is actually pulling in image generation tools, video generation tools, and all of the best tools in one app. So we can now compare Kling, which didn't quite do what we want. Gemini VO2 did great. And then Pixelverse and Luma Labs A+. So very powerful for doing the video version. The next section we're going to go over is super agents. So remember, super agents, it has multiple large language models, multiple tools such as the sheets, spreadsheets, chat, also Spark pages. So it's actually choose the right tools to actually accomplish a much more complex task. And to help you get the most out of this, since majority of the members are business owners, if you go to the worksheet and you scroll down, now we have a section here down below the video called 40 Genspark Business Prompt Templates for Deep Business Understanding. So we're going to actually go through just a few of these prompts right here so that you can understand how comprehensive the Genspark super agent can be, especially when it comes to improving your own business. So you're going to get a lot of value out of this exercise. So the way this works is you do need a digital notebook. I highly recommend Notion. Definitely take the Notion course, or you could use Google Docs as well. The first thing that you need to do is actually generate a description of your business that has these key parts: your niche, your ideal customer profile, your product, your price, your transformation. And hint, to do this faster, you could use your business coach GPT, which is saved here. In the community, we have the custom GPT course. And inside the custom GPT course, at the very bottom, we have library of GPTs that you can copy and build into your own business. This one right here is the business coach GPT. You should definitely build this one because it's going to know everything about your customers, their pain points, the products. This one, it's going to act as an advisor to go deeper into your business and knows everything rather than just starting a blank ChatGPT conversation. So I have mine right here, and I could go to my business coach GPT. If you don't have one, you could start up a brand new conversation and just brain dump as much as possible in the description to describe your business. And you want to cover these categories: your niche, ideal customer profile, product, price, what's the transformation. And for quick, I'm just going to take this and just go to my custom GPT, that's my business coach, and say, answer this in 5 sentences. Paste. So just say, hey, answer these questions from 5 sentences. This is the benefits of having a custom GPT that knows everything about your business. So I could save brain power. And I'm like, okay, great. Here's everything: my niche, ideal customer profile, my product, the price, and the transformation. Awesome. Pause this video and generate something similar to this. This is very important. So you can use a regular chat conversation as well too. Great. Welcome back from pausing it. Next, we need to create a digital notebook. So I would recommend going to your Notion document template, which highly recommend. Take the Notion course, and I teach you how to actually build this template right here, which is very powerful. I highly recommend too, please don't use Google Docs, Microsoft Word, pen and paper, Apple Notes, Trello. Adopt Notion. You are never going to go back once you adopt Notion. It's going to be so powerful to help you stay organized with everything, especially for this part of the course. I say Notion is mandatory if you want to play with any large language models, regardless if you're playing with Genspark, ChatGPT, or anything. And to work in a digital environment, you have to adopt Notion. There's no alternative, unfortunately. So the next thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to, in my Notion page, my document, or in my Notion documents database, I'm going to click new, and I'm just going to call this Genspark AI Business Audit Example. I'm just basically spamming it with keywords so that it's easy for me to find. I'm going to click on the arrow to expand it. Great. Now that you have your page, I would recommend practice with keyboard shortcuts. Very important. On your right hand on the keyboard where your pinky is, click the backslash. That's going to enable a drop down with all the ways to format text or information in Notion. Everything in Notion is saved as a block, and every block can be formatted to be a to-do list, a header, a text, a divider, PDF, for example. So I'm going to do H3. There's H1, H2, H3. I like H3 just because it's small, it's short, real simple. I'm just going to call this business description. Press enter. Now, notice it says write or press space for AI or backslash for commands. We're going to press the backslash again for commands. Perfect. And type code, CODE. So we're going to create a block for code. So we're going to create a block for code. So click that. Perfect. Now, right here, whatever ChatGPT outputs for your description of your business, copy this and paste it here. Perfect. So the nice thing about it being a code block is on the right-hand side, I could click the copy button, and one click, it's now copied to my clipboard. And then when I go to paste, I could just paste it. It's going to save you a little time hack, very important for the next section. So now we have a Notion page with the business description in a code block that I could copy and use it for the next examples. Go back to the workbook that's below this course, and that's what we completed here. Basically, generate a description, answer these questions, because I want to personalize Genspark for you right now with these examples so they're actually relevant to your business. And I created here 5 quick examples. Now I want you to select all 5, all of this right here. Select all of this all the way down to the very bottom of number 5. Copy that, Command C, or you can right click and click copy. Go to your Genspark page, go below the text and paste. And notice how Notion actually keeps the formatting and actually creates things. And I added placeholders for Genspark URL. Notice there. Every example listed below, and there's like 40 examples that you could go in. We're just going to do a couple just to show you the AI agents feature here, but they all follow the same premise. You could eventually copy the rest of them, but we're just going to do this just to start off. Notice how every prompt that I crafted here, 1 is business specific, and then 2, I added a section here for insert your business description right there. So that's where you want to paste it. Notice that's here too. The next prompt, it's there. And then if you scroll down, every prompt down below in this example workbook all follows the same format. So what you're going to do next is you're going to copy your business description at the very top. Click the copy button. See how nice Notion is? We're going to highlight insert your business here for the first example, click delete, and then paste. So now it's going to use this prompt, and in that prompt, it has your business description here. Do this for these 5 examples right here, just while we're here. Paste, go down, highlight. We're highlighting the text where it says insert your business description here, and paste. And so it's adding that. Perfect. Now again, you can add more context to your business. This is something just quick and fast. So I'm going to highlight here, paste, and then I'm going to highlight here and paste. Perfect. So now we have 5 examples with custom prompts related to competitive intelligence, sales optimization, business model validation, and content marketing campaigns and marketing strategy. They're all personalized to our business. So your prompt's going to look different than mine, but it's going to output something similar. So now you're going to click the copy button right here. It's going to copy everything in this code block. You're going to go to Genspark, and I recommend take the Genspark tab and just move it all the way to the very far right. So it's like the last tab. So you have your Notion tab and this. So it's always the last 2 tabs. Whenever I'm working and I have multiple tabs open, I'll always drag the most active tab that I'm working on at the very right. Perfect. We're in super agent mode right here. And then we're just going to go down and paste. And then we're going to remove the quotes. Just remove that, remove this quote, done. That's it. And then click submit. Now, Spark immediately, as it's starting to think and work, and look, there's our preference prompt right here that we added from our preferences to say, hey, estimated token, 300 tokens, estimated output tokens, 8,000 tokens. It's going to estimate usage about 8,000 to 23 tokens. Tokens are different than credits. So that's why it's not going to burn all your credits. It's not even going to burn that much. But now notice that Genspark is starting to work. It's like, okay, I'm going to develop a comprehensive go-to-market strategy for your business. It's going to use a tool. It's going to go Google search. It's going to go find a bunch of websites. Now it's going to gather more specific competitor intelligence, use a tool, which is parallel search, and it's going to repeat that. And then you can click the view and see the web pages that it went and scraped, or it's looking through to find the answers. This is pretty comprehensive as far as like a researching agent. So now it's using a different tool. It found a relevant article and it's going to read it. So if I click view, you can actually see it scraped the text from that website, and it's going to save that and use it in its knowledge hub. It's building like a secret knowledge hub that you can't see. Then found another tool. Cool. Now, based on my research, here's a very comprehensive go-to-market strategy. Then it's going to show you the total addressable market, your direct competitors and their pricing, their strengths, their weakness, their market position. This is very valuable business information. All of these examples in this workbook below is basically a deep dive business audit. You could do this both for your business and also charge this as a service. If you want to become an AI consultant, you can charge this as a service to clients for $500 to $1,000 for a deep dive, deep analysis in their business. Like, to get this comprehensive report, they would have to hire like a Deloitte, a McKinsey, KPMG, PwC, like a really expensive consulting agency to do this. And you're doing this with Genspark, which is so powerful. But notice the prompts here. There's your content, your email marketing, year 1, year 2, year 3, great targets. Here's a 90-day launch plan with a checklist. Now, here's something very important. As it outputs, I recommend 2 things. 1, copy the URL. Pro tip, if you press Command L as in link, Command L, it highlights the link, and you can press Command C as in copy, because I'm all about keyboard shortcuts. Keyboard shortcuts save you time. So if I press Command L as in link, it copies the URL. And if I press Command C as in copy, it copies it. Perfect. Then I'm going to go back to my Genspark. Now notice I put a placeholder here, insert Genspark URL, because it's very important to save information and conversations that you have with any AI model, because I want to go back to this conversation and continue to build upon it. Plus, any important information, I want to take it out of Genspark and save it in Notion. Very important. And this is the best practice for any AI tool that you use. So I'm going to delete this and paste this URL, because now when I'm working on Notion, I'm always going to go to Notion for a file, a resource, a link, because it's going to be easier to find it in Notion than it is to find it in Genspark. Now, whatever it outputs, this is very helpful, very valuable information. I would definitely highlight and copy this information. I'm just going to scroll down, because I could put this all in a custom GPT for my business coach. Very helpful. And then I'm going to right click copy. And then I'm going to I'm going to scroll to the very bottom of this Notion page and just paste this information here. So now all this information is saved in Notion. It's saved in my digital brain so that I can find it and I can use it for like custom GPTs, which I'll show you right after. And then I have this very powerful conversation. And again, you could read it. There's a lot of stuff in here. Go ahead and repeat that. But for the next example, we're going to go back to Notion, scroll up to the second example, content marketing campaigns. And you could right here just delete the quotes. So delete the quotes. Then here, delete the quotes, and then I'm going to click copy, and I'm going to stay in the same Genspark conversation thread. This is powerful because Genspark will always remember all the things that you talked about it from previous history, basically all the way to now, rather than spinning up a new conversation and talking about the same relatively topic, which is a business audit. This will get smarter over time and actually can reference things that you chatted in previous conversations all in one thread. So that's why it's very important to save the thread and continue back. You may want to come back in a day or a week and continue this conversation to go deeper. So I'm going to paste the next prompt right here, which is create a 1-month marketing content campaign, and click submit. And now it's going to go ahead and do its work while it's working on the next stage for here, which is the 1-month marketing content campaign. On the upper left-hand corner, there's these dots right here. There's these 2 lines. Click on it. While it's working right now, I could literally close the browser and come back to it, because the browser, once you give it a task, it's going to work on its own server and then save the conversation. So your tab and computer doesn't need to be open for it to complete the task. It will go ahead and complete the task on its own, even if you log out. But what I definitely want to do is here, you could run multiple tabs for multiple conversations. But here, since this is very important conversation that we're having here, go to marketing strategy, I would highly recommend renaming it right here by clicking the pencil icon right there. And I'm just going to say AI business audit. And for me, since I've done this, I'm just going to say example. You don't need example, but I'm just going to call it example just for me. And I'm going to click save. Now that it's renamed this conversation, and then if I go to the task list right here, it's saved here. Only here is where you could click the three dots and you could bookmark it, because you're going to have a ton of conversations. This is all your conversations. Some of these conversations are more important than others. So that's why when you bookmark them, I'm going to open a new Genspark tab. So I'm just going to double click, go duplicate, basically, just so I have another conversation. If I go to the me side right here, this is where you can see a history. Notice there's 3 sections: history, bookmarks, Spark pages. This is a history of all the conversations. So right there, here's the example that we just created that's working. So you could click on this and it'll take you right back to that conversation. See, it's still working. Nice. But then if you click here, bookmarks, now you can see all your bookmarks. Now notice for the bookmark, it kept their original name, but it didn't add the new name. So just a caveat, there's the new name, we saved it. And then here's the bookmark. That's actually it right there. So that's bookmarks. While it's working, what task is it on right now? So it found a bunch of stuff. It's going to now create a presentation. So this is the super agent. The super agent is doing analysis, doing website design, basically creating spreadsheets, creating a sheet right here. So if I created this right here, if I click on this, I use the tool and it created an Excel sheet. So it's moving through the different tabs completely autonomously. That's where the super agent is so powerful. It's going to choose the tab for the task. So if I look at the sheet modes and I click on it, it's going to pop up a new tab and I can see, oh, hey, I'm looking for a content marketing calendar for female solopreneurs, campaign sheet for generating. And so it passed it over to this tool. Look at all of these things. Oh my gosh. And if I open this, look at all of these. It did the content title, the content type, the platform, the funnel stage, top of funnel, middle funnel, bottom of funnel, SEO keywords, secondary keywords, target audience, their pain point, content format, the CTA type, expected engagement, ROI metrics. It just did this for a 30-day campaign in seconds. You know how much of a competitive advantage this is? So that's helpful. Close that tab, go back to my conversation. And if I scroll down, it's like, oh, now I'm going to actually create a presentation slide for you. So if I go here, presentation slide, and we scroll down, it's doing the slides. So there's slide 1, slide 5, slide 6, slide 7. And so it did the outline for the slides. And if I scroll down, you can see right now it's actually creating the file. And when it creates the file, is technically creating an HTML presentation. It's not actually doing any graphic design. It's just designing a web page using HTML. You don't have to know HTML code in any shape, way, or form, but just to show you what it's doing behind the scenes. And if I scroll up, you can see that when it renders, here's its thinking about what it should do for the slide. Here's the code it wrote to create the slide. And here's a preview of that slide right there. 1 month marketing strategy. Here's the content ideas. So now it's actually just creating all the slides right now. It's going through, it's just doing the thinking. It's parallel to doing the thinking for all of them. Then it's working on the tab. This is insane. This is an insane amount of work that it's doing from just one prompt, which is great. You know, it would take you days to try and do this on your own, and we're doing it in a second. We're going to go have some coffee, go eat some lunch, come back, and it's going to get done. You could close your browser and it will still be working on its own server, and you can work on multiple requests at the same time. You can open up a new tab, go to Super Agent, and start another request for another project. But I do recommend for this exercise and these prompts right here, as you go through them, do keep the same conversation, this URL, and just keep talking, keep pasting the prompts in here, because I put together very comprehensive business prompts related to specific business categories like marketing strategy, breaking down your ideal customer profile, your content strategy, sales strategy, pricing strategy, lead magnets, sales page conversions, competitive analysis, business intelligence, marketing competitor research, lead generation, content creation, sales role play. And here I pulled members in the community and asked them, how are you using Genspark? And they were very kind to share business use cases. So here we're now getting into business use cases that members are actually using it. So I created some prompts so you can start using them. Standard operating procedures, business frameworks and workflow design, KPI dashboards, landing page and website copy, data modeling, AI powered. And because you're going to personalize this to your own business, you're going to gain a ton of valuable insight from Genspark from this. So start with the agent and go through these examples. This is basically just showing you the power of Genspark super agents. Oh, look, it's done. So then it's created the slides. So now we're going to click. So now we can see our slide presentation here. And if I click edit in slide mode, it's going to open slide mode here. And in slides mode, it functions differently than the super agent. So once it's in slide mode, I can select edit, select this text, and I can add something, 30-day calendar. But now that's done, it auto saves it, and then I can just hit the X button and it made that changes. And then once I like it, I'm going to go view and export, and we could play the slides right here. It created this in minutes. Ideal customer profile, content strategy, breakdown funnel. You could give this report to your client and charge $500 to $1,000 for this report. And they would be like super impressed that you put all of this work and effort, and you really didn't. You just put in a prompt and then you went and had some coffee and Genspark did all the work for you. It's an insane competitive advantage, honestly. This is super in depth. So, and then from here, you could always export it as a PDF or a PowerPoint. I'm gonna do the PowerPoint while it exports there. And then this is the slide feature. So then if we go back to Genspark, now Genspark is doing some data visualization. This is very interesting. That logo is what's called a Jupyter notebook. A Jupyter notebook is basically when you write Python code to do data analysis. Like, this is very advanced stuff. You don't have to know basically what this is. It's basically like a Word document. You write text of what you're doing, and then you write Python code to do some data visualization. So it's like a Word doc plus chart mixed into one. And that's what it's doing, basically. It's going to generate a comprehensive reports using data analysis. Now that it's complete, we could take a look at some of the things that's worked on, like a data visualization. Like, it basically did a deep dive analysis of like charts of awareness of the stage of growth. This is your content strategy roadmap, deep dive into pie charts, all of this. So then after it created those charts using a Jupyter notebook, which is basically Python data analysis, then it created a web page right here. So let's click view, check out this web page. And then if we click on the new window right here to just expand it out, and then it's going to give you a little disclaimer. Don't worry about it. Click OK. Target entrepreneurs, 30-day strategy, top of funnel. This is like a comprehensive report. Your blog post, video. Now yours is going to be different than mine. Instagram carousel, hook, problem, why, sign, solution, CTA. This is wild. Middle of funnel, from 60 hours a week, 30 hours of freedom. Meet Sarah, her challenges, automated solution, client testimonial, case studies, free Friday workflow templates, Q&A. Bottom of funnel, what's your ROI? It built a calculator. How many hours a week? What's your hourly rate? How many hours do you spend on admin tasks? How many hours on repetitive tasks? Calculate. Did it just build a calculator in it on a web page? That's insane. 40 hours a week, monthly value 16,000, total ROI. Do you want to claim your time back? That's insane. And it did this for a bottom of funnel, for social proof, and for conversion. This is an interactive web page. And then background problem. Now again, yours is definitely going to look different than mine. Masterclass, a webinar, case study problem, foundation automation tools. Wow, I'm actually going to go much deeper into this. Email marketing, nurturing, implementation roadmap, basically top, middle, and bottom of funnel. Wow, campaign, monthly ROI, investment, return. Look at that, investment and return. Do you want a 5x your revenue? Then you could download the templates, start your campaign. Like, this whole thing was built through Genspark. This was just the second prompt that we gave you. That's all. And then you can see here, it also used those to give you like an executive report here. So if I close this out, I can see the executive report that it used, those dashboards, complete deliverables. So it did charts on everything, charts, especially revenue growth, campaign slides, comprehensive ROI, total investment. Genspark doesn't play. Like, Genspark does not do anything half-ass. Oh, look, there's your top of funnel, what to talk about for your content, tech stack tutorials, middle of funnel examples, content story, bottom of funnel examples, ROI calculators, masterclasses, perfect myth. This is genius. This is much more than just like create some Instagram carousel images just to repurpose. So this is wild. So that's just to show you what agents are powerful of. So I highly recommend go through all of those. I have some apps here, so it will actually generate dashboard apps. So just to show you like how we can actually build applications, which is right here. So you can Again, copy these, insert your business in here. I just want to show you that I can actually build apps. So this was the prompt. And then right here creates a website. That's pretty much the application. And then you can click to open this and you can see this huge interactive dashboard, monthly revenue, total cost. You could upload spreadsheets and have it take those spreadsheets and turn them into dashboard reports. This is wild. Churn, monthly revenue, active members, engagements, social, traffic, performance, just to show you how you could do applications. It basically renders them like websites, which is a whole nother thing. There's a few app examples that you could test out here. Oh, this is interesting. This is a project management app one that I did. And then we could click view. And here you can see dashboards, projects, tasks, add a new task. It's actually an application. This is our project management app that we just built. Due date, create the task. It needs some development. It's not perfect, but this is just for version 1. Time tracking, current session, to track your hours, invoicing, how many outstanding, how many paid, how many tracked. This is a full application. Here's your CRM with your details. You can add a new client. So it does forms. Now, it's not a full app to like fully built out, but it's just to give you like a mock-up that then you could use. I'd recommend giving this to like Lovable to actually build out the actual app itself. This is just great for the mock-up for it. That's what Genspark is really used for. It's like to create the mock-ups for it and then take screenshots and have it create a project requirement document. Pop that over to Lovable. You could check out the Lovable course on how to do that. And Lovable will build you a fully functional app with database, with tracking, with logging. So this was just for MVP for mocking up. Quick and fast, very powerful. Now down below, I do have some more examples. If you want to go deeper into the sheets, slides, the drive, the image, you could go through those. The last thing I want to show you is the browser. So if you search Google for Genspark browser, you could download a browser. It's an independent application. It's actually installed on your computer. It's only for Mac. Soon they'll have Windows. And here, if you have a new Mac, it's most likely Apple Silicon. If you have an older Mac, it's probably the Intel. So just download it. It downloads and installs just like any other application that you're downloading. So we'll just download this. Cool. I'm going to open this up, and to install it, and then all you're going to do is drag and drop it into your folder, and then it's installed. And then in your applications, you can see G for Genspark. So there it is. And if I open it, it's going to ask you to log into your paid account. So just log in with your paid account here. I think it'll be in the bottom left-hand corner to log in. Now, this browser, it's actually Genspark's app right here. It looks like Google Chrome, but it has Genspark integrated. And this is the giveaway right here, this little extension. This is Genspark with the website. So some cool things that you could do, for example, you can go to a YouTube channel. You could click on any video. And what it does here is it adds this little module right here. You can click to summarize the content. You could extract the transcript. You could generate slides from it, or you could chat with the video to ask the specific questions related to your business and stuff. Really, really powerful. Now, it also has search, but when you search for something in the URL, it's not actually using Google. Notice that it's using Brave browser, because Brave browser has less ads basically. So you could search the web and also have a little privacy. But keep in mind, it's all feeding through Genspark, so data privacy with a caveat there. And if you go to any news article too, it's actually going to remove all the ads here. So any third-party ads from this article, it actually removes, so you actually get the whole article just itself. And then from here, you could ask Genspark questions about this article right here. I could say, turn this into a LinkedIn post. So you could take articles and quickly generate content from here as well too. And then pop this, copy paste that into LinkedIn or something. So very powerful. The last thing I'm going to show you is MCP and tools. So I'm going to go to the super agent and go down here, and you could connect tools by clicking down here for tools. You could click down and then go to add. Think of it like an app store. Basically, everything's free. It's all included, but they have connections with the most popular tools, your Gmail, Google Drive, your calendar, Notion, for example. I highly recommend you could definitely connect the Notion one. So click install. Be sure that you're logged into Notion at the same time. There's nothing really changed. So I'm going to click next. I'm going to just choose this first one and click add allow access. So it's not going to connect my Genspark with Notion. And what happens is if I go to Notion on my left panel, now I have a private page called Genspark integration. So this is where it's going to save any page or conversation right here. So when I click on that, And if I go to it, and if I go to my history and I go to any conversation, like this LinkedIn post right here. So this is just the LinkedIn post from the browser. If I click Save to Notion, it's going to successfully save it. So then when I go to Notion and I scroll down and I go to Genspark integration, there it creates a new page right here. So I click on this and there's all the text. So it's just going to save and append them all right here. And it's on the left hand side under private, which is like at the very bottom. So that's another benefit of having Notion. So they have many other tools here. If you link your calendar, you can ask it questions like summarize my calendar in a report, or same thing with your email, summarize all the emails that were created today in the executive report, stuff like that. Personally, I don't really find those things valuable. Honestly, like it's not really worth connecting, but over time, and we'll do this in another video as we dive deeper into Genspark, they have an MCP server where using MCP, you can connect other tools and they have a ton of tools here. You can see integration tools, things about storage, databases, code. Here you could integrate, say, for example, Hacker News, and then ask it questions like pull the latest articles from Hacker News and summarize them related to my niche. For example, there's also Reddit, and then you could actually link your own custom MCPs. It could be from GitHub, it could be from NAN, but we'll go deeper into this into a future course. Now, one last thing, Spark pages are very interesting because in order for Spark pages to work, it's usually when you search for something like a report. So if I give it a prompt using the super agent, you can't tell it to actually make a Spark page. It will make a Spark page on its own, only when it is doing like research, like search the web, because it will make this a public, basically blog article too. So the way a Spark page looks is you have a table of contents on the left-hand side. So this is like a 10,000 foot view. Everything's hyperlinked, so you can click on it and it'll take you to that page. The middle section is just like a giant Wikipedia article, like a whole blog. This only does for when it's searching the web and putting together executive summary. And then on the right-hand side is a chat box where you can say, give me a one sentence summary. And so you can actually chat with this Wikipedia article, but you can't make Genspark create you a Spark page. It will only choose it when you give it a task in the super agent to actually go research the web for some topic, put together a comprehensive report, synthesize the information. Then it will create what you're seeing here, which is a Spark page, which has table of contents, summary, and a chatbot, basically. One last fun thing too is that it could also make calls for you. This button call for you, it would create a phone number and then it could call and make reservations, which is actually kind of wild, but it's there. Call for me. You could have it, for example, book a table next Wednesday for a birthday celebration. Check if this is available. And then by the way, Genspark is actually also really good as a shopping agent to help you find the lowest price. So I'm just on Amazon. You can search for any product. On the right hand side, oh look, and this is the Genspark browser. This is the actual app dedicated on your computer. It has a section right here saying find the best deal, compare products. So I'm gonna say find the best deal, and it's gonna take this product and go and search the web to find the best deal that's out there. And now that's done, it did a whole summary, but this is in the browser version. It's kind of hard to see all this information. So if I go to regular Genspark and I go to me, this is just Chrome browser. There's in your conversations, it's saved right there. So if I click on it, I can see all the different models and I can see basically best price is from Amazon, 10% coupon. So I'm like, cool. So then it's like summarized to say, okay, best price, it actually is Amazon. If you go to their website, it's going to cost more. Premium pricing, they're doing the markup. Market range is from this range to this range. So it's saved it all and it's doing it. So it's great for just comparable shopping. I actually found the link and said, yeah, this is actually the best, cheapest that you could buy this watch for. So you could do this for any products, especially for comprehensive research, which is actually pretty dope. One very last tip for all my productivity nerds that want to save more time in the productivity course, if you scroll down and if you have a Mac, mandatory, please get Alfred for Mac and take the Alfred course. Trust me, it will save so much time. If you've gone through that course, you know about bookmarks. I highly recommend, since you've taken the Alfred course, there are a few places that I want you to bookmark for Genspark because you're going to buy the subscription. You're going to be using it every single day to get more work done. So I want you to have quick access to Genspark when you need it. So number one is go to Super Agent right here, click on the star icon and bookmark this Genspark Super Agent. and then save this in other bookmarks and click done. Because when I summon Alfred with my left hand, my pinky, I double tap shift, summons Alfred. And if I type Genspark, oh look, there's Genspark Super Agent bookmark. And when I click on it, it opens Chrome, goes to URL, and now I'm ready to talk to the Super Agent. Instant, quick access to Genspark. So that's the Super Agent. The next one I recommend is the All Agents, because I may want to do image generation or video generation. Actually, the image generation is actually really, really powerful. So I want access to all the other ones. So I would want to bookmark this and go Genspark and just type All Agents. So that I'm like, show me Genspark All Agents. And I'm going to save this in my other bookmarks and click done. The next one is Image Studio. So I'm going to do the Image Generation Studio. I'm going to bookmark this. I'm going to type Genspark image generation. So when I type image generation, I need to create AI images. I'm not really going to go to ChatGPT, although it can do images. Genspark image generation far surpasses, because it actually gives me access to so many other image generation tools. So and because I've never went to it before, that's why it doesn't show at the top. So I'm going to press enter. It takes me right to there, and I could do image generation, select Flux or any of the other ones, and then create hyper realistic images. That's going to be powerful. And then what I do recommend is go to the Me folder, because this is your Genspark history of all the conversations. This is going to be helpful. I would definitely bookmark this and call it Genspark history. So those are the main places that I bookmark for Genspark. So if I bring up Alfred, type Genspark, I have the Super Agent, my history, image generation, and All Agents. Oh, I have a duplicate. Let me just show you quickly how to remove duplicates. I do recommend take the time to keep your bookmarks organized. Go to three dots, go to bookmarks, go to bookmark manager. Everything is saved in other bookmarks, honestly. And then if I type Genspark, there's All Agents and there's All Agents. There's duplicates. I'm just going to delete one of them. So right click, click delete, doesn't matter. I'm very methodical about keeping my bookmarks organized, because it saves me so much time. So when I do image, there's Genspark image generation. Now I'm ready to generate AI images with the best AI agent powerful tool. So super productivity tip there. Awesome. And that completes the Genspark Masterclass. Thank you so much for taking time to learn Genspark with me. There will be new updates over time as they continuously add new features to Genspark. We'll add new modules and new classes. If you made it to the end of the video, please comment in the comments what you found most valuable and most interesting. And Genspark is going to be super powerful in your suite of tools. You have Notion, you have ChatGPT for custom GPTs, you have Genspark, and that's enough to be dangerous. And there's other specialty tools for different use cases from there. So thank you so much for going through this course, and I hope you have a blessed day.